Welcome back, guys. This is Lee from Speech 100, and you're listening to Babae Ka Lang, the show that examines the social phenomenon in our society through speech communication. Today, we're talking about discrimination against women in the Philippines through the lens of instructional communication with my peers JD, Oliver, and Christian.
As we talked about before, the older generations have taught the younger ones of what women are and how they are treated, supposedly. The young ones, the learners, learn by being involved in various communication situations. And because these dominant beliefs exist and manifest until today, teaching learning process about women is also affected. In this form of communication, dominant ideals about women slip their way in through educational processes that affect the learner's knowledge, beliefs, and actions. An example of instructional communication against women would be DepEd's more controversial school activities, wherein they ask students to assign certain qualities such as malakas, iyakin, mahinhin, and matapang, as well as certain hobbies such as playing dolls and joining a sports team to boys and girls, when in reality, either gender can do any of the traits mentioned. So from this, knowledge formation is observed, belief in psychology is reinforced, and the learnings are applied into real life communication situations. These situations can be anything and can be informal, formal, spoken, or written. So, looking from this perspective, instructional communication may be contributing to the strengthening of the discrimination against women, since the teaching learning process embed learners the idea that what they are studying about is supposed to be right. But it doesn't stop there because as times progress, educational institutes and instructors who find this bias against women illogical and unfair have been utilizing instructional communication in order to share their own experience and knowledge for the better.
Therefore, there are also advantages in instructional communication. Major advantage to put it. DepEd has been promoting the idea of lahat ng bata ay pantay-pantay and how education will break gender barriers this year. They have been promoting pedagogies and involving rewarding feminist individuals, encouraging the gender studies and conducting social constructivism such as a academic group discussion about supporting women. These learning techniques helps us gain more knowledge about the issue we are facing in this country. Not to mention with technology, this knowledge spreads even more to the point that anyone can access it anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, and instructors and students also do their part in this issue by constructing, sending, and receiving messages to influence each other. Very beneficial activities such as conducting academic discussions and research projects serve the purpose of obtaining and spreading this knowledge about this topic.
As a form of instructional communication, research papers have been very important to pretty much anything in the world. And that includes feminism. Because here I have an example of a research paper, a result of a series of carefully curated pedagogies, learning processes, and performed knowledge. Here it is a paper titled Language and Colorism, Beauty Ideologies in Pond's Philippines YouTube Advertisement by Rosane Bernos. And the study explored how a certain product advertisement projected a distorted depiction of rosy white gloss as the standard of beautiful skin. Since beauty has been one of the challenges faced by women since the ancient times, businesses these do not intend to miss on opportunities to further strengthen this dominant ideal of how white is connected to perfect and beautiful skin, while dark is associated with dirty and greasy skin for their own benefit.
Yeah, actually, this paper provides an explanation for the ideal beauty of women standards in our country that cause issues or confusions. Na hindi lang naman yun talaga yung basehan ng kagandaan di ba? Ikaw, Bali?
I agree. It explains the beauty standards in the Philippines and how it is engraved to the women's mind, affecting their own confidence and emotional health. And there are hundreds or thousands of academic work out there addressing different areas of discrimination against women, So imagine the knowledge that's out there to be discovered and for us to learn as well.
And that's true. And not only do we know another way women are being discriminated against in the Philippines, we also know how it is maintained. Because, as I said, the opportunistic nature of corporations, even if it meant worsening the discrimination against them. And so, overall, as we can see, instructional communication has its share of disadvantages and advantages on how women are viewed and talked about. However, if the learning teaching process of communication is valued and improved as time goes on, there will always be hope in winning this battle. In instructional communication, those who utilize and share their knowledge in the most effective and efficient ways will come on top in spreading that said knowledge. And of course, pedagogies and learning techniques play a huge role in it.
All right. Thanks for listening to Babae Ka Lang podcast. We hope you enjoyed our in-depth analysis of sexism in the Philippines using instructional communication. If you love this podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel and post about us on social media with a hashtag Babae Ka Lang podcast. If you want to know more about this communicative phenomenon, join us next time when we'll be examining sexism through the lens of rhetoric. That's all for this episode, folks. See you next time.